Hello there, welcome to my video where I share my experience as one of the million people that have awakened to the real realities of our existence on this planet. In my videos, I share some knowledge that I have collected, read, or stumbled upon that I believe others might find beneficial, because so many people are waking up to consciousness and more people will in the years to come. And if you are one of them watching my video, I say life will make more sense now. Most of your questions will be answered some way or the other. Don't stop until you find what it is that you seek. Because believe it or not, what you're seeking is almost also always seeking you. This is a continuation from my previous video on the truth about manifestation. The fundamentals of manifestation all come up to a few simple techniques that, when adopted and applied, should make one master of your own fate. I know that does sound dramatic, but the purpose of your existence here on earth can be simplified as such. You are a light being having a physical experience. Therefore, whatever that experience might be is entirely up to you. However, this can only be possible if you know how to alter or change your external world to reflect what it is that best serve a version of you that is existing now. In this video, I'm going to share those techniques with you and hope they work for you the same as they did for me, as well as all those other people that came before us that have passed on this esoteric knowledge for you and me to find and use for our benefit and for the benefit of mankind. So the first thing that you must understand about the nature of our universe is that everything in nature thrives on balance. Everything must be in perfect balance. When you understand this concept, you will have the understanding that in nature everything is equal, or simply put, everything is utterly meaningless until you, the observer, assign meaning to whatever it is that you're observing. So here is a scenario. For instance, you are in need of a house or a car, and you have the intention of getting the house or the car. Based on your belief system while growing up, you might have been told that getting a house or a car is a very difficult ordeal. And heck, you have seen it yourself while growing up. When your parents decided to get a house, you have seen how they struggled, how they had to scale down just to get this house. Or even the car. They had to work really hard to get the car, especially if it's the car that we classify as, high-end vehicles. I'm sure you know what they are. So everyone driving those cars are given a certain level of respect because it is proof and it shows to everyone just how hard they have worked and hence are successful and can afford certain things in life. And in return, we respect them for their hard work. I will let you in a little secret though. You see, in nature, or according to the universal law, that house or that high-end vehicle is worth the same as, say, a grain of sand or anything that you deem worthless. The only reason we think and believe that those are worth more and other things are worth less is because we live and grow up in a system that has taught us to think and believe that way. And whatever your subconscious mind believe is true will definitely manifest, because that is the only truth that exists. That's why it is so hard for you to get a house or a car, because it costs so much. How could you possibly afford it, right? were wrong. You allowed your old self to believe that because it allowed you to have that experience. However, now, if you wish, you can allow yourself another experience. But first, you must know how to change that old belief system and to replace it with a new belief system that best serves you, or the version of you that exists now. So my first video was on the universal law of correspondence, as above, so below, as below, so above. Almost all of our experience in our universe hinges on this universal law, which can be simplified as whatever it is that you accept as true or truth, that is exactly what you will experience. So if you believe that all men are dogs, for instance, you will meet a selection of men who will be dying to prove to you just how dog-like men can truly be. And it's no one's fault. It's just a version of truth that you've accepted to experience, and that is exactly what you will experience, as above, so below. So back to our scenario, because you are still in need of a car or a house. So because of your already existing belief system that you have attached to the idea of, say, getting a house or a car, the moment you had the idea of getting a car or the house, you automatically became aware of how hard you will have to work to make this happen. And this awareness will generate all sorts of emotions out of you. For instance, you will be excited, definitely, but then you will also experience apprehension, doubt, a little bit of doubt, anxiety, and maybe even fear. Fear of what will happen if you fail. Fear of letting others down. So depending on how strong these emotions are, you will more likely tip the scales of balance out of balance. And one thing that nature loves is to keep things in check, in a perfect, harmonious state of balance. And if you start making waves and troubling the waters with all your emotions running around, you most certainly will be the one going down, and that's for sure. Because you cannot fight against nature, you will lose. So you can see that just because of a belief system that you hold of something, just one idea and the choice that you have made to entertain that idea of getting that house or that car, you have already set a chain of reaction all around you. And all this just because of the belief system that you hold for owning a house or a car. So for instance, say you have an idea and intention to go to see a movie. A new movie has come out and, oh, I want to go see the movie. You automatically buy a ticket and go see the movie. Even right now, you can do that. It's possible. The only difference is the belief that you hold for buying a movie ticket is very different from the belief that you hold for buying a car. It is easier for you to order a takeaway or buy a movie ticket, as I'm saying, than it is for you to walk in a showroom and buy a car. Because what you truly believe at the core is that you do not have enough. What you are experiencing is lack. Don't worry about it. A lot of people, or a lot of us people, experience lack. Because for most of us, it is the default setting from the societies that we find ourselves growing up in. So that lack mentality is ingrained in us, in our core, so that everything that we experience at the core of it all is lack. We don't have enough. Should you find yourself experiencing lack, it should be because you do so by choice and not because you are not aware. Because lack is merely the opposite end of abundance. It's one scale of the same experience. So you are just experiencing the polar end of abundance. So it is just a switch in the perspective that you're having. As below, so above. If you want to alter your experience of lack, change your perspective and instead see things the way they are. And that is, you already have everything you need. If you didn't have it, you don't need it. Otherwise, you would have it. You already have it just by virtue of being alive. You already are abundant, otherwise you wouldn't even exist at all. So what exactly makes things harder, or what exactly makes things harder to manifest, that people keep going around and around in circles? What happens in the background? I will explain this in a very simple way and use a simple example that you see in everyday life. Because as I said, that my intention is to break things down and make them as practical as possible for you to understand and for you to apply. So every law that governs our universe, or whatever it is, has a corresponding system in our society. Everything is linked and related, and every piece has a place in this big life puzzle. What you need to do is just figure out where it fits or where to put it. You have noticed that every time you have an increase in demand for resource in every society, naturally the price goes up. And for some unknown reason, should the resource become scarce, the demand naturally will also go up, and the price will even go further up, making it nearly impossible for the rest of us at the bottom to get it. Just look at gold as a resource. That should clarify things for you. So everything I have just explained happening here in the below corresponds to a T in the above. In the universe all around you, the laws are the same, and here's how. Remember when I told you that everything in our universe and in nature is equal? And what I mean is, in terms of value, no one thing has more value than the other. That's just how things are, and everything has to be in balance. That's why you have seasons. You have hot and then you have cold. You have night and then you have day. You have birth and then you have death. All that happening is a way of nature to strike a balance, to equalize everything to a state of equilibrium. And when we come to Earth to have this experience, we are meant to add value and meaning to our individual experiences. And from these individual experiences, we gradually develop a collective experience. That as a collective, we are all in agreement. For instance, as a collective, we have agreed that gold has more value than the grain of sand, for instance, because of what we believe gold can do for us as humanity. So as it stands, that is a collective agreement, which in common terms we also call a paradigm. But the thing about paradigm is they constantly change. Paradigms shift all the time depending on the level of the collective consciousness. But in nature, so when you go back to nature, everything remains constant. Everything remains the same, equal. Therefore, nature doesn't really care that gold has more value than sand or dust or a beer or used up beer can. Bottom line is, everything in nature is equal, because at the core, everything in nature has the same essence, and that is from the source of creation. Therefore, everything is or remains equal. Now what happens when people try to manifest something? Mostly people will want something based on the simple fact that they lack something and that they simply don't have it, and they want it because they don't have it. So this creates an intention within you that you want something that you currently don't have. Automatically, the vibrational state that you now radiate with will be that of lack. From that point onwards, everything that you manifest will be from the point or from that original vibration that you now radiate of lack. And this will be manifested in your external world, which will perpetuate what you lack and therefore make you more desperate to have it. As below, so above. The only tricky part of manifesting something from a point of lack is you will find yourself overvaluing whatever it is that you intend to manifest, therefore making it even more harder or near impossible to get it. Why? I'll tell you. There's a verse in the Bible, Matthew 25 verse 29. It says, "For everyone who has will be given more, and he will have an abundance. But the one who does not have, even what he has will be taken away from him." It couldn't be clearer. What it says actually mean exactly that. Remember what I said earlier on, that everything you need, you already have. And if you don't have it, you don't need it. It's because believing that alone takes you away from the state of lack. If you believe that without a shadow of a doubt, then you will raise your vibration from the state of perpetual lack. But if you believe that you do not have something, then whatever you have will also be taken away from you. And you should try to remove emotions from this, because as I said, nature doesn't care about your feelings. What nature does, it only reads your vibrational state, and it will respond according to that, because the universal language of the universe is vibration. It's not a speech. So if you believe that you don't have, everything will conspire around you just to confirm what you already believe is truth. As above, so below. It is very possible to get to where you really dream of getting, and destiny has brought us together for a reason. This is Naya. She wants to come say hello.
Hi.
Okay, so together, stay safe, everyone.